Welcome to Hearth Energy. This is where we are going to work on the zero bill challenge. All right, so what is this all about? If we look right here, this is really the premise of why it's so important to consider anything where energy is a commodity. Because if AI is a commodity, then electricity is too. So if you believe this is a true statement, which I do, then let's see what we can do to mitigate some of the issues when it comes to inflation. How do we resolve this issue? If we look here at this chart, I have the commodity supercycle going back to 17, what year do I have it back? Well, before the War of 1812, 1790, I believe, is where the graph starts. Right here, where we have the mascot for Hearth Energy is lemon juice. So introducing dark mode lemon juice and light mode, which doesn't look very light. Wow, what is going on here? This is green, but it looks black on the screen. What is happening on this one? Oh, do we get a... Oh, that is bizarre. How about that? We're going to have to see if that needs to be addressed in post. Well, let's continue. So the whole idea is, how can we get a zero bill? If we look at this crazy graph that I drew, and I will put a link to the original source of where I got this information from. And I wrote it down here for everyone to see, shown as 10x rolling compound growth rate with polynomial trend. That means curved line, basically. So if we look, we're starting here between inflation positive and negative numbers. And if you can tell by the curve, it goes up. It goes up pretty high. And it ends here with, now hold on to your seat, World War III. 2045. Okay. So how do we even get there with a chart like this? If we start with the first one, War of 1812, inflation 3.75%. Okay. And this goes in 55 to 65 year increments. All right. If we look at the next one, the first depression was 1824, negative 6%. A commodity inflation, right? Things actually were depressed. Then we pop back up to the U.S. Civil War, right here, 5.9. Then we drop down here to the Long Depression, 1878, 5.9. We go up here post-World War I, 8.92. You can see where this is going. If we look at the Great Depression, infamous Great Depression, 6.83% negative inflation for commodity prices. Then we go to our infamous Cold War, 1980, 12.37%. And now here we are, the Grand Depression, 2025. It should peak at negative 9.55. Negative inflation for commodity prices. So, and then of course turn around right now, and then boom, you know where that's going. So a lot of people have commented, I'm sure you've noticed that basically, your electricity costs previous the last 5 years have been going down, last 20 years approximately, has actually been, we'll say, stable. There has been not commodity inflation. There's been inflation based off of monetary factors, right? So, but the actual cost of electricity itself, where the producer of that, the generator of that, has actually been in a deflationary mode. And so they've been generating some profit. Now they're going to have to make up the difference as we're about to turn around and go to here. Now, the whole aspect of this is if you're going to stay in the matrix, let's optimize it. Okay, let's take on the zero bill challenge. If you want to escape the matrix, follow my link down to Robot Tarot, where we work on exactly that. But here, what we're going to do is we're going to move forward. We're going to analyze how we can optimize energy generation with residential solar, mostly in Southern California. So if you follow down on my Substack, Hearth Energy Substack, and of course this YouTube channel, I'm going to be going over tips and tricks for designing and purchasing, owning cash, loan, or lease, or PPA, power purchase agreement, for your residential solar. We're going to go through every little detail, and so you're going to see how it all works out. All right. So the whole goal with the Zero Bill Challenge is that you leave comments and about your experience with going solar. How has it been? I know many people that got solar almost 20 years ago have had positive experiences. Of course, everyone has had positive and negative and everywhere in between. A lot of it was because of expectations, right? You weren't clear what was going on. In the beginning, it was an experiment getting solar. Now it's proven technology and other things are an issue. But you know what's not an issue? Is inflation of these commodity prices, electricity in particular. And our good old buddy AI is the culprit, or maybe it'll be our savior. So follow, and we're going to continue with Hearth Energy.